Hey guys, how's it going? It's a gorgeous day out today. I just fixed the fountain or the pond pump that we have going in our little pond. It's a solar pond. And you guys saw that we have a little frog in there. So cute. He chirps all night long, or croaks, or whatever it is that frogs do. And it is so magical. We love it. We usually end up opening all the windows so we can hear him. And I think our neighbors also have one because we hear multiple frogs going, and it's like the best thing ever. So I just cleaned out the pond just a little bit. I did that off camera, and then he popped up out of the water, and I was like, oh, there he is. Okay, I'll leave you alone, buddy. And so it was really cool. So I hope that you guys saw the frog. And the little pond is still working out great. We've had this solar pond pump for about, I think, coming up on a year now. And it's been amazing. It's from Amazon. And the only thing though is that it gets clogged super fast. And I know it's just because I have so much stuff growing inside that pond, and like leaves fall in and gunk falls in, and it plugs it up. If it was something that didn't have stuff growing in it, I'm sure it wouldn't clog nearly as fast. But let me show you guys this, and then we'll get into what we're actually gonna do today. So back here is looking so magical. I need to come in and do something with this rose. I need to tie it up. It's starting to lean, but this is just so picturesque. And I can hear a little bit of the water going. It's very subtle, very gentle. It's tucked in right back here. Really magical. I love it. I got this heuchera, which is in full sun right now, which is kind of surprising. And then back here I've got a hydrangea, and I've got a snowball viburnum underneath some birch trees. And the snowball viburnum is blooming, and it's so gorgeous. This is the best that it's ever done. I moved it back here super recently, and it's just so happy. It looks like a hydrangea. It's so gorgeous. Snowball viburnum. I would love to have more of these. They usually don't perform very well on our property or in our zone. So I'm really surprised to see this one doing so well. I'm really happy. I think it's because it gets so much shade. You can see they're kind of like tucked in back there. I just am loving this little area of the garden. And then our little frog friend, we've got a fish who's right there. And then our little frog friend, he lives back here, tucked in between the dusty miller and the honeywort. And it's just, I love it back here. It's magical. So really, really happy with how this little area has turned out. It just feels magical when you come back here, especially like tucked between the willow branches. Isn't that amazing? It's so gorgeous back here. I do need to tie that rose up though, really badly. I won't be doing that today though. So my plan for today, which it's towards the end of the day, I've already done a bunch of other things, is to fill up the veggie bed as much as I can, the one that we just built, and to fill in with irrigation. So that's my goal, and then also start some seeds because I have nothing to go in that. And I do want to pick up some things from the garden center, but I don't want to pick up a whole bunch of veggies. I prefer to just kind of like start them. I'm gonna buy tomatoes from the garden center and probably a few other things, but there's some stuff that I would like to start from seed. And just am loving how this is coming together. And then look at, I have surprise ranunculus. Didn't plant these this year. These were planted 2 years ago. They usually don't come back for us. And I definitely didn't get any last year, so I don't know what happened. But they're so pretty, and I'm just loving them. Just really enjoying them right there. And then this is the bed we're gonna fill up, and I've got some really crummy soil that I'm gonna just fill the bottom of this with, and then I'll top it off with some really, really good soil. And it should just be nice and nutrient rich. And then I'm gonna run irrigation. I'm gonna tie it in from this side of the property. I'm gonna go under this bed and then run irrigation up it. So let's get irrigation ran, and then we'll fill it up. What I'm gonna be using is this black poly. This has no emitters in it, and this is the 1/2 inch or 1 inch. I think this is 1/2 inch. And then I've also got the brown that has the emitters, and the emitters are every 12 inches on this. And I won't be installing this portion of it today just because I don't have any straight connectors, but I am gonna run this under the bed, and this will make it so I get water to it, and then that will emit the water. The couplers are what connects your irrigation tubing together. So I've got to do a straight coupler. I need to do a T-piece into the main line that I have running through my garden, and that will connect it to this. And then I need to do a straight coupler at the end of this into the brown that has the emitters every 12 inches. And that's what's going to emit the water into the garden bed. I don't have any couplers today. I've run out. I need to stock up all of my irrigation stuff. I'm running out of everything this year. But we're gonna at least get this piece in to make it so that way I can, when I need to run the water, I can. So you can see we've got the line running up it now, and then I'm going to connect into this right here, which is watering a bunch of other stuff. And so what I'll do is I'm gonna put a T in so it reconnects these, but has a joint coming out, and then that'll connect into here, and that will water this bed. And up here, what I'll do is I'll put a on-off valve, so that way this bed's not getting water if I don't want it to get water, especially like right now when my irrigation is on, but I don't have anything planted in this bed. I wouldn't want water running to it. So I will put a on-off valve, but that's for a later date. This is just gonna make it so I don't have to run the irrigation over. I can run it underneath and then I don't even see it. And I did decide to tie my roses up just a little bit. So they're still kind of out, but they're really not that far out, where before I couldn't even walk back here. It was so crazy. So they're all tied up, nice and short. This thing is massive. This is the Claire Austin, and she has so many buds. This is the best that she's ever looked. So I did 4 of the worst, cheapest possible soil that I could find. It filled it up maybe a third of the way. I mean, I hate talking about this stuff because it's garbage. They say it's soil, but you're paying for wood chips. It's wood chips. So the bottom layer is basically wood chips. And that's fine by me because nothing's going to be growing down that far. My next step now is I'm going to clean out the chicken coop, and everything from the chicken coop I'm going to put in here because that will make for great compost. It'll break down. It'll be absolutely amazing soil. And then I'm going to top it off with some bags of good soil. I doubt that the chicken coop will fill it up enough. And I'll probably need like 6 or 7 bags of really good soil, but I think this is a really good start. Also, this is your heads up. This is me at 80 degrees. I hate the heat. I'm not somebody who's gonna go in and clean up every single time that I get sweaty and gross. So you're gonna see me this summer wet, sweaty, gross, muddy. I don't have the time. I don't have time to go in and clean up every single time that I want to turn the camera back around and talk or cool down. And I don't do good after. It's really 75 degrees is my like peak. So we're just gonna have to like hang out with each other and be like real buddies, okay? We're not gonna talk about it. Let's clean out the chicken coop now. And I'm gonna get even sweatier because I'm gonna put a mask on. Okay, I couldn't find her mask. I'm so hot, I'm so uncomfortable. You guys know past 75, I'm miserable. It's 80 degrees today, which I don't love. That's like way too hot for me. I mean, like really my peak is like, I would love if it was 65 year round. I would be so happy. Let's get the chicken coop cleaned out. I couldn't find my mask, but I grabbed a shovel and some buckets and let's just get this done. If I was smart, I would have PPE, but I'm not being smart. So I'm just gonna hold my breath. And this is where we are after getting the chicken coop all cleaned up. There's still a long ways to go. I mean, you can see, like, you don't even see it. There we go. So it's a little more than halfway, but barely more than halfway. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put compost in here because I do have some left from my compost pile that I never finished cleaning out, which I'll show you guys in a second. But I think that's gonna be for a later day because I ended up cleaning the chicken coop really, really heavy. There's one thing I can't stand. It's a super dirty chicken coop and the chicken coop has totally been neglected. And I am like soaking wet now because I cleaned it so hard, just the coop part. I didn't clean out the run yet. That'll be for who knows when. Honestly, the run's not that bad. It was the coop that was terrible. So let's go start some seedlings. I'm gonna go dry off because I'm soaking wet, mostly from the hose, which feels refreshing, but also kind of gross because I was in the chicken coop. So this is where we're gonna end this. Let me show you the compost and then we'll start seeds. So this is the old compost pile. There's not a whole lot left in here. but there is some left in here. And it's gonna need to come out anyways because when we do the fence, it can't be here. So this will be a perfect opportunity for me to take this down and fill that bed up. But I'm gonna do that off camera because you guys don't need to see me filling up a bed. I'll show you guys in a couple days when the entire thing is actually full. But that's a start. I used super cheap dirt and chicken manure, which was fabulous because those will both break down and be really good soil. And then I'm gonna top with compost and bagged soil. That's really, really good. This is the bag soil I'm gonna use, by the way. Ignore the car polishing stuff and the drill that I used to clean the bird bath. But this is what I'm gonna use, the Happy Frog. We found it locally over at, it's called Kinney Nursery. And I think Brent said that it was like $13 or $14 a bag. So this is my favorite soil to use. Okay, now to the good stuff. We're gonna start some more seedlings. I am limiting myself. I'm just gonna start 3 6 cells. Still more than I need, but it's just so easy. When I've got 1 6 cell, like I can just start that. It's really easy to start it. We're gonna grow 3 things that I'm really excited about. One of them, I'm growing 1 for me, and I'm gonna grow the rest for Ashley. I'm gonna grow some watermelon. This is the Sugar Baby Bush. And then I'm gonna grow peppers, California Wonder. I'm a little late to start these. And then cucumber, which is a Boston pickling cucumber. So I'm excited to get this started. I have all Bootstrap seed starting supplies in my garden. That's all I start my seeds with. It just makes it the easiest. And then I try to use really good soil. This is what I'm using. It's the Fox Farm Ocean potting soil. And I used to use the Happy Frog potting soil, but I found that this is a lot finer. It's a lot airier. It's a lot better to start in. The Happy Frog tends to have like sticks and chunks in it, where this stuff is very lofty. I need to make my plant tags really quickly. I prefer to use a garden marker. It's from Amazon. I buy them in bulk usually, and then I buy these super cheap plant tags. I bought these 2 years ago and still haven't run out. If that tells you how many I bought. Okay, so we're gonna color code it. So cucumbers are green, they're going in green. The watermelon is green, it's going in green. Bell pepper is like red orange, so it's going in the red orange one. And then I am going to try to pot up a few things. If I was smart, I would have been doing this all along. Things don't want to stay in these for weeks and weeks on end, but I leave them for weeks and weeks on end. So I should be potting them up into these 2-inch pots, or even better, into these 3-inch pots, but I don't. So what I am gonna do today is I've got a couple things that I'm not ready to plant yet that I am going to be potting up. So I do have okra. I only got 1 okra plant, which is fine because that's all I want. And I am gonna pot it up into something like this. And then I have cucumber also, and I am gonna pot those up into these. I might as well pot these tomatoes up also. I only want 1 tomato plant, and I've got 4 of them here. So we're gonna do just a little bit of potting up and then some thinning of our seedlings. So we got the tomatoes planted, and I planted them deep. And then I've got cucumbers. I've got 2 of these planted. I've got my other cucumbers back there, which I'll probably only keep 1. Watermelon, okra. I've got California Wonder peppers, all of the things. This tray is full of goodness. Corn, which you guys really doesn't want to be in here this long. This is ridiculous. I should not have done this. I honestly should have just waited until like maybe 4 or 5 days before I was ready, but I didn't. And then my morning glories, they need to get transplanted so badly too. So I got quite a few things in my hand. I've got zinnias, I've got amaranth, all in these 3 trays right here. They need to be thinned out. These are the potatoes that I'm starting from seed, which I didn't even know was an option, but I'm really excited about it. It always feels so good to get new things started in the garden. I can't wait to get all of this in the ground. I don't know where everything's gonna go, but it's just always easy to start more seeds, and it's so much fun. I mean, it's not like my favorite thing in the whole wide world to do, but honestly, I start way too many of them, so obviously I enjoy it somewhat. So I think that is gonna be it for this video, you guys. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna plant all these. So I think I'm gonna go inside, do a little planting. It's now almost 8 p.m. and this looks so much better. The girls are already up roosting, getting ready for bed. I finally got the shavings down, so it just looks like clean in here now. It's so much better. I just can't stand like a super dirty coop. I know there's always gonna be like this on the wall and like there's always gonna be gunk, but it was bad. I mean, that's what they had down below. It had been probably close to a couple months since I cleaned out their chicken coop, and I feel just terrible about it. I've been so busy. So this is so much better. All I had been doing was just like throwing more shavings down and throwing more shavings down and throwing more shavings down. This is just so much better now. Well, that is gonna be it for this video now. I guess in the next day or two, look, I'm covered in shavings. I just came out here because it finally cooled down from 80 degrees. I just came out here to put the shavings down because the chicken coop was soaking wet inside. I basically flooded the chicken coop to like clean it out. It was rough. But this is great. This is exciting. That's some progress. I just gotta fill up the rest of it with the compost pile that I have that I was supposed to take care of a while ago, and then we'll just top it off with some bagged soil, and I'm just gonna do that at some point on my own accord. It needs to happen ASAP, so I just might not film filling up the rest of it because I have a mess. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.